Hello and welcome to a new video. In today's video, we're going to take a look at a team from that boy Jay, who already hit Legend, and I kind of want to start a series where I'm going to try to hit Legend as well now with a little sprint, and it's going to be the sprint to Legend. We're going to have a team here with the Jellicent, the Typhlosion as our Scizor, and in the back, I decided to go for the Shadow upgrade on the Forretress with the recently buffed Bug Bite. This team itself is a very good team, as you're gonna see here as well in PE Poke. This team has a lot of play against the current meta, but there are also a few Pokemon that are a bit more tricky, like Jellicent, like Gastrodon, like Dedenne, or like a Marowak. So, can this team perform? Let's see if we are going to be able to get a little bit of Elo today, and let's see where we're going to end up here. So, moving on, we're going to start off in the first battle. We're going to have the Shadow Scizor against us. What we are seeing as well, that we're going to be able to stay in here for a little while, because we are going to be able to take at least one Night Stash here, go for the Surf, and try to get a Shield advantage. Shield advantage is really cool for this team, because you're going to have access to Typhlosion as well, which is going to do so much damage, especially when you get something in like a free Incinerate here. The opponent goes for the, next charge move here, basically boosts his own attack up there as well with it. But we can go for the double Thunder Punch in order to A, realign, and B, keep the shield advantage, which is really nice for the Typhlosion. And we will see what they're going to have in the back now. We know already, of course, of the Scizor, but in the back there's also going to be a Gligar, where I can still swap out here into my Jellicent. I'm going to use a shield. I should be able to outspeed both the Scizor as well as the Gligar to the next charge move. And we're going to be able to hit a super effective Surf against the Gligar, doing some nice damage. They go into the Scizor here, and they're even going to go for a charge move. But the only thing on how they could still win this battle is if they would get a boost here, which they don't, because now I am able to go into my own Fortress here, which is going to be absolutely fantastic. We can take a hit, and we are going to be able to even go for another Sandtomb against the opponent as well here. This is looking really good for us, as we can knock them out here, and in comes the Gligar, a Pokemon we can deal with. So we're gonna move on now to the next opponent, where we will encounter a Drago. This Pokemon is going to be a bit more tricky. We're going to have, of course, a Water type in the lead, which is not going to be as ideal against Dragon types, but because we can go for Shadow Ball and Hex, we're not really having to worry about our Water type too much, which makes it a very neutral matchup in this lead scenario. What we're going to see as well is that we're going to have the option to either realign or maybe get the shield advantage. We see what the opponent is going to do, because he survived with a few HP here. We are going to be able to go for another Shadow Ball, which is going to allow us to get the shield from the opponent, and also get a ton of energy with our Fortress. Unfortunately, they're still going to be able to get to another charge move here, which is going to get the debuff onto our Fortress as well. But so far, so alright, because they're gonna see the Feraligatr coming in, and I swapped out straight away into my Typhlosion, and while this seems to be a silly play, it actually works out quite well, because we can guarantee a realign ourselves, and we're also going to be able to get out of here with a 1 Incinerate advantage if I wanted to. But I also going to be able to get out of here with a 1 Incinerate advantage, even without, really KOing the opponent's Pokemon there. They still have like 1 HP on it, but you're going to be able to go for another move here without Typhlosion. The Thunder Punch is going to come through against the Toxapex, and we will see as well that this Pokemon is barely going to do any damage. I'm going to keep my shield just in case they have still a charge move on their Feraligatr, which I'm fairly certain they don't. And with this, we are going to be able to knock them out here and win the battle. Moving on. Let's see who we're going to have here. We're going to have the Wigglytuff in the lead. That's going to be very tough, especially with the next Scizor coming in, being a Pokemon that completely hardwalls our Typhlosion. And also we saw already earlier in the video where we took a look at the team. By the way, if you want to see like a section like this for all of the teams, then let me know down below. I think it's kind of maybe cool to see on how the team kind of was built, and especially like for the teams that I'm going to build myself, I can talk a little bit more about the thought process maybe. But what we're going to see here is we're going to see the Marowak against us, which is going to go down. We have shield advantage, which is cool, but this sadly going to have a Golurk in the back. And against this team, we just don't have really any play. Our lead got hardwalled, our Scizor got hardwalled, and our Fortress in the back doesn't really have as much play now anyway. And as you see as well, against the Wigglytuff, we just have a bit of a tough time here. That is alright, we're going to be able to let the move go. Like this, the fast moves go through against us, and we're just going to forfeit here, because there's nothing really I can do. Moving on to the next opponent, we're going to see a Stunfisk coming in. That's not ideal for me generally for the team, but I'm actually kind of alright with it, because what I can go ahead and do here is I can go ahead and go for a Surf. This is going to allow us to get them a little bit lower. We are already a little bit lower, but that's alright, because now we can go for the full farm down, which will allow us to get out of here with that Rock Tomb stored, which can be clutch for us here for sure. And especially if the opponent is going to get me a little bit lower, they have even less farm against me as well, which is going to be a great thing for me. As you all see here, Mud Bomb is coming through. We are going to be able to go ahead and go for a Rock Tomb against the opponent. It is going to drop the opponent's attack here as well, but Blastoise has one big weakness, and it's going to be the Pokemon that we still have here waiting for it, which is going to be the Jellicent. Jellicent is going to be able to resist every single thing from the opponent, and this is really, really nice for me, which you're going to see here as well. The Skullbush is barely doing any damage. They are going to be forced to swap out back into their Annihilate, but we can go for the Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball is the safe play here, because I know I still can get to another one as well. The opponent doesn't even go for a charge move first, and so we have 2 shields left. And with that, we are going to be able to get the KO against the opponent and still knock out the Blastoise before they even see our final Pokemon. Next up, we're going to have here the Talonflame against the lead, which is going to be generally a very nice lead. The issue here is that, yeah, we are going to be a bit in a difficult spot as we see the charge move coming through from our Jellicent. We have to go for another Surf. We have to kind of stay in this matchup, which is not really ideal. We could have went ahead and stopped out into the Forretress, which maybe I should have done a little bit earlier, but at this point I'm kind of committed to this matchup, and I was hoping that I could farm them down in time. I cannot, but I'm still alright with even my Fire type against the opponent's Talonflame, and so I'm totally alright on how things are going to go right now. They have the Quagsire in the back, so I can align myself against this one properly, which is kind of nice as well. And as we see here, that's going to do some solid damage. We're going to be able to let the move go against the opponent here. And as we will see as well, we are going to be able to go back into our Typhlosion now against Talonflame. We stopped out really straight away there basically, which is allowing us now as well to just go ahead and go for that Thunder Punch. And I should be able to get to another Thunder Punch before the opponent can do really anything here, which is going to be absolutely fantastic. As you see as well, we're going to be able to go for another hard-hitting charge move. This is going to allow us to get the KO, and with that we are going to be able to win the battle, as Quagsire cannot break through 2 of our Pokemon here. And so, yeah, good game to the opponent, I would say. Yeah, we're just going to be able to go for the full farm down here. There's nothing really they can do here. But yeah, let's see. We're going to be able to now, let's move on to the next one. Oh, first we're going to claim our set. We had a 4-1 here, as you saw as well. And we can move on to the next opponent. Here we're going to see the Dedenne against us. That is alright. We have to sub out of here. Our team is a bit weak against Dedenne, which you saw most likely earlier on already as well. And so, yeah, we're going to be able to see here now the Dust Clouds coming in. The funny thing is, I'm fairly certain I'm going to be able to get to 2 Blast Burns before they can do anything. And because I am so weak with my lead against Dedenne, I have the option here now to realign myself if I just use a shield, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. They even gave me a free fast move that they didn't need to do. They could have went just for 1 fast move first and then went for the charge move. They just give me the free fast move here completely. They're gonna go into the Dedenne, and we're going to be able to pressure them here as well, which is going to be cool as well. As we will see here, the opponent is going to not enjoy our fast move pressure at all, and that is going to be fantastic, as we will now see that we're going to be able to go into our Forretress and let them forfeit here basically. Next up, let's see what we're going to have. We're going to have here the Forretress against us, which is going to be great for our lead. I expect that the opponent very likely is going to, go ahead and use that shield there on the first one, and then they're going to try to most likely go for a Rock Tomb. And as I'm going to predict this here, I am going to be able to go ahead and swap out into my Typhlosion against the Blastoise. We have a lot of pressure here against the opponent as well, which is going to be great, and we will see on what we can do next. We have here the Thunder Punch coming through. We had exactly 100 energy, which is great as well here for ourselves. And as you see, the Thunder Punch is going to be able to get the KO against the opponent. In comes, let's see. In comes the Lapras, and we can go for another Thunder Punch, which is fantastic for us as well. This is going to get a shield from the opponent. That's totally fine, and we can go for our Blast Burn now against the opponent's incoming Forretress, completely melting them down, knocking them out, and we can go into our own Forretress, which resists the fast moves and has super effective coverage here over the Rock Tomb. Moving on, we're going to have a very bad lead for us. Greninja is a core breaker for our team, and that's why I decided here to try my best in order to get rid of the Greninja by going later into my Fortress and try to realign myself. I'm not too sure if I'm going to be able to realign myself really here, but as we will see, we are going to be able to go ahead and go for a Thunder Punch against the opponent now. This is alright for us, and we will see that the Clodsire is coming in, and now Clodsire is aligned against the Jellicent, and the Greninja is aligned against our Fortress. We can take a hit here, no problem at all. And what we are going to see here as well next is that we're going to be able to go ahead and swap out against the Greninja into our Fortress. I will shield the first move up, which actually is a mistake. I should have let the first move go through. Why is it such a mistake? You're going to see it here right now. The opponent would have had the option to boost themselves there and would have knocked me out. But at the end of the day, they didn't do that. And with that, we are going to be able to win this battle here. We're going to have the Rock Tomb coming through. This is going to allow us to drop the opponent's attack further, which now allows us also to survive an Earthquake on our Jellicent. And we're in such a perfect position that there's nothing the opponent can really do here in order to win. We can go for another Surf. That is absolutely fine for us. And as we will see here as well, we can, win this battle. Next up, we are going to see the opponent here with a Lapras against us. That's going to be, again, a very favorable matchup for ourselves. As you see here, we are going to be able to go ahead and we're just going to be able to completely hardwall the Lapras. We're going to be able to, just let the moves go. Spiking area, not an issue at all. We can go ahead, let another move go through. Again, not really an issue whatsoever. And so, we're in a very solid spot. Now I decide to go into my Typhlosion. I can now just go for the charge move and knock them out, which is going to be perfect as well for us. And we can see here that we're going to have the Primate against us. We're going to get a ton of damage against the opponent here already as well, which is absolutely fantastic. The Thunder Punch is going to force the shield from them, and we see more and more Incinerate damage is coming through against the opponent. This is going to be perfect for us as the Rage Fist is coming through. We're going to decide to use a shield because I wanted to get the damage on against them, because now they're going to be in range where I can go for the full Bug Bite down. They decide to swap back into the Gligar. I should be able to get to 2 Surfs, which forces the first shield and of course then the damage against the opponent, which then puts everything into the range where we should be able to win with our Fortress. And honestly, Shadow Fortress is really, really cool. I really like the Shadow Fortress here. This Pokemon is such a cool one just with the damage output that we have. We're luckily going to be able to even fully farm down the Gligar, and now, even if they have a close combat, we should be able to survive it. But yeah, this is going to be it for this one. Moving on to the next one, let's see on what we're going to see here next. We're going to have the Feraligatr against us. We're going to be able to take this hit here as well then from the opponent. It's going to be the Hydro Cannon. It's not the ideal matchup generally, but we're going to be able to swap out into our Fortress. And I'm surprised about the damage output from Fortress. That is absolutely ridiculous. We are going to see here that we're going to be able to go for the full farm down against the opponent. And this is going to be so great, as we have now so much energy, we have realignment, we have Gligar, which is going to allow us to even get another Rock Tomb off here. They cannot knock us out with anything else. And so we're in such a perfect position. Like, it's such a good position for us. We can let the move go, Dig is not going to be enough. And we can either get the KO here, or we're just going to get the shield from the opponent, which I'm both totally happy with. We get the KO, and so the opponent has 1 Pokemon left. And it's the worst Pokemon I could possibly imagine. There is no other Pokemon for us that really is, difficult for us. But Gustlord is the one that I didn't want to see. Gustlord is totally fine if it's going to be in the back and we can align our Fortress against. But Fortress is the only one that's currently gone there. And so, we don't have a chance here anymore. The opponent is just doing too much damage unless we can hit this charge move. But as you will see here, we are not going to be in the position and we're sadly going to lose this battle. So let's take a look at the next opponent. We're going to have here the Clodsire. Clodsire is going to be an interesting one. We can just go for the Surf. We do a ton of damage here, I think, now. And let's see how this is going to go. Final matchup here for today. We will see that they're going to go for their own charge move, but again, we are going to be able to easily win this battle. As we will see, the Surf is coming in here as well. This should knock them out. Of course, we don't know if we're going to win the entire battle, but we're going to win this matchup here. And this is going to be interesting as they're going to have their own Jellicent. I hope that we're going to be fine here without Typhlosion. It depends on how the opponent is going to go for their own charge moves as well. As we will see, we are going to have another hard-hitting charge move coming through. This is going to get the shield from the opponent. They can go for their own Surf, but we are going to be able to go ahead and go for even another charge move. and we have the swap out into the Clodsire. That's alright for us. We can go for the Blast Burn, and we should still be able to get a Thunder Punch through against the Jellicent. And at this point, they're even kind of in range where we would be able to go for the farm down with our Forretress, but they decided to let the move go just to reveal that they're going to have the Talonflame in the back, and that is unfortunate. And so, yeah, we're sadly going to lose this battle, but still, it is what it is. Forretress doesn't have the chance here of getting to a move anymore. They go for the fly. Well done from the opponent there. Not really what I expected. Still, I really enjoyed this team. This team went, I think I had a total of 3 losses and 9 wins. So that's actually really, really nice. Yeah. 75% win rate. What do you really want more? Hopefully you enjoyed this one. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and I will see you then. Bye-bye.